ICE riots continue to cause chaos throughout the city of LA, and more protests are popping up, but I found some very interesting things, so buckle up. Now, my whole suspicions that this whole thing was funded and set up from the beginning was right, because this has been floating around. This is a Craigslist post that says they're looking for the toughest badasses in Los Angeles, in which it says seeking extremely tough and brave men for a new crew I'm building. It also goes on to say you need to be physically fit, fast, ready for confrontation, and pays $6,500 to over $12,000 per week. This is posted right before everything popped off, and it even says former law enforcement is okay to join, but no Marines. Now, why would they do that? That's because 700 Marines have just been deployed to LA, almost like they knew, right? But that's not all. A brand new investigation just cracked open with this Chinese communist-linked billionaire, Neville Singham, who actually funds the Party of Socialism and Liberation that forced the hand of the Pentagon to release the Marines. Isn't it funny that his logo shows up at this anti-ICE protest that just passed on June 7th in San Antonio? Interesting. Not to mention, he lives in Shanghai, China, and I'm assuming he's made all his money George Soros style, but this is where it gets spooky. Can anybody tell me why not one, not two, but 3 Chinese nationals was just arrested smuggling in bioweapons into the US? Now, this is linked to a lab from the University of Michigan, and it said that this fungus can destroy crops and cause food poisoning. Wait, hold up. You mean to tell me that China owns almost 400,000 acres in the US around military bases and farmland, and now we have this? I think it's time we look up the ladder to see who's really pulling the strings here. Now, here's another thing I found odd. There's this website called NoKings.org, which is anti-ICE, anti-Trump, but they just established themselves. But why is this site registered back in 2018? And I did some more digging. It was actually established in Arizona, but it had no prior links to this being a blog/video game site. So there's that. Then we have Gruesome Newsom filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration to end illegal takeover for the National Guard, which has escalated chaos and violence into LA. Everybody say it with me now. Set up for a civil war. This is what they want. I'm not buying it. You shouldn't either. They want a race war. They want a civil war. Any kind of war to divide and conquer, because they know that there's more of us than there are of them. Make sure.
All right, so let me explain what I believe is happening and why they want you in a civil war. So in the next couple weeks, these are being planned right now, very well funded, very well organized. At a city near you, we're going to have a riot. It's not just protests, full-on riots. And if you watch this video, what's happening? Why aren't the police doing anything? Why aren't they stopping and arresting these people? Well, most of these agencies where these riots are happening are liberal-led agencies. They are, in my belief, telling them to stand down. Why? Why are they dropping off bricks? Everywhere across America, they're dropping off these pallets of bricks. Why? Because they want to get violent and the police won't do anything. So then what? Patriots like you and I, it'll make us want to go in and fight. Don't do it. It is a trap. They're trying to suck us in so that all the patriots are going to go, and then we're going to marching right into their trap for the civil war that they want. So what's the answer as hell breaks loose and violence ensues throughout these cities? Are we going to go save their cities? They're already gone. So get a food storage, get right with God, get out of major cities when it starts getting bad. Do not fight with these people. That's exactly what they want. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. I promise you.
They create chaos, and they create control.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo ab Chao, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ab Chao. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we're having all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated, not just for Los
It's
Angeles.
conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
People need to wake up.